They suspended a referee, and nobody wants to tell you the real reason why, because the tape they tried to bury just leaked, and it exposes the ugliest secret in the WNBA right now. So if you love this league, watch this before they take it down. A growing number of Fever fans are starting to ask a question the league desperately does not want asked out loud. Over the past few days, the basketball world has been consumed by breaking reports of a prominent WNBA referee facing serious disciplinary action, whispers of a suspension, and a wall of silence from the league office that only makes people more suspicious. We have all seen the clips, the hard fouls, the blindside screens, the shoulder checks that would get flagged in any other sport. All of it aimed at one rookie sensation, Caitlin Clark. For weeks, fans have watched in disbelief as officials seemed to swallow their whistles every single time she got hit. But today, a new piece of footage surfaced, and it is not just showing a missed call anymore. It is revealing a double standard so blatant that it threatens the credibility of the entire officiating crew, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Here is the twist nobody is talking about. We are not even looking at a game where Clark is the primary target. We are looking at what happens the moment she is taken out of the equation entirely. Because if you have never watched an Indiana Fever possession without number 22 on the floor, you would swear you were watching a completely different sport. It is an alternate universe. When Clark touches the ball, every single opposing team treats that possession like Game 7 of the finals. Full court pressure, traps at half court, bodies flying at her legs on every jump shot. Every dribble becomes a survival test. That is the version of defense we are told is just normal, hard-nosed, physical basketball. So then explain this. What happens to that same relentless, hard-nosed, supposedly non-negotiable defensive identity the second Clark sits down? Kelsey Mitchell is one of the most explosive scorers in this entire league, a legitimate star, somebody who should be face-guarded every single time she touches the ball. Watch this footage back. Nobody is on her. Nobody is closing out. Nobody is diving at her ankles when she rises for a three. She has entire feet of separation, an ocean of space that Clark has never once been given since she stepped foot on a professional court. This is not one blown coverage. This is not a two-possession fluke. This is the entire game, start to finish. The intensity just evaporates the moment the rookie is not the one bringing the ball up. Watch Erica Wheeler walk in for an uncontested layup. Nobody puts a hand up. Nobody even pretends to challenge it. Now picture that exact same play with Clark as the ball handler. We all know what happens. A forward steps out of nowhere, delivers a shoulder to the chest, sends her to the floor, and the whistle stays silent because apparently that is just playoff intensity. But here, against everybody else, the same defenders just watch the ball go through the net like it is a scrimmage. Ty Harris runs what looks like an unguarded layup line. Monique Billings strolls in for an open finish. Nobody is getting hip-checked. Nobody is eating an elbow. Nobody is getting knocked down. It is clean, fundamentally sound, completely normal basketball, which proves something important. These same teams are absolutely capable of playing the game the right way. They simply choose not to when Clark is the one holding the ball. And then there are the officials, because the double standard does not stop with the players. It runs straight through the referees holding the whistle. In this exact game, with the spotlight off the rookie, Indiana shot 12 more free throws than their opponent. 12. Suddenly a slap on the wrist is a foul. Suddenly a body check on a driver gets called. Suddenly the rule book exists again. Now ask yourself honestly, has Clark ever gotten that kind of whistle when she is the one getting hammered on every drive to the rim? When she is absorbing contact possession after possession, the whistle disappears and analysts call it toughness. But take her off the floor, and somehow every referee remembers how to officiate a clean, fair basketball game. That is not a coincidence. That is a pattern, and patterns are exactly what a league office cannot explain away once fans start pulling the tape apart frame by frame. There is a theory circulating among people who actually study officiating tendencies, and it is honestly unsettling once you think it through. The idea is that referees are terrified of being accused of favoring the most marketable player in the league, so they overcorrect. They swallow the whistle when Clark gets hit to avoid the appearance of bias, and by doing that they leave her exposed to be targeted night after night. Then the moment she is off the floor, the pressure lifts, the guilt disappears, and suddenly it is a normal, well-officiated basketball game again. If that theory holds up, It means the very fear of favoritism is what is allowing her to get physically worn down on a nightly basis. And that is a contradiction the league cannot keep ignoring forever. Then there is the bench, and honestly this might be the most uncomfortable part of the entire story. Watch Coach Stephanie White during this specific game. She is up off her seat fighting for a loose ball. She is cheering for Ty Harris like the season depends on it. Genuine, visible, emotional investment in every small moment. Now go back and watch the reaction when Clark drops 30 points and hands out 10 assists in a performance that will end up in a highlight reel for years. Silence. She can barely get a high five after a game-winning shot. That contrast is not subtle. It is not something you have to squint to see. It jumps off the screen the second you put the two clips side by side. Why does a routine veteran play generate more visible joy from the coaching staff than a historic, franchise-altering rookie performance? That is the question fans keep circling back to, and it is exactly why the referee suspension rumors are spreading as fast as they are, because people are not just imagining a double standard anymore. They are watching it happen in real time on tape. They can pause and rewind for themselves. This is not one clip taken out of context. This is not a single missed call blown out of proportion by an angry fan base. This is game after game of open threes for everyone not named Clark, clean uncontested layup lines for everyone not named Clark, a whistle that appears out of nowhere the moment she leaves the floor and vanishes into thin air the moment she steps back on it. You cannot run a professional league where the physical rules of the game shift depending on which player is holding the ball. You cannot let officials look the other way on targeted contact and then turn around and call a picture-perfect game 20 minutes later once the target is sitting on the bench. If the WNBA wants to protect the explosive growth it is currently riding, if it wants to protect the players who are filling arenas and breaking viewership records, it needs consistency, not selective enforcement that changes possession to possession. The tape does not lie, and that is really the whole story here. Two completely different versions of basketball are being played inside the same league right now. One version has space, fair whistles, and a coaching staff that visibly cares about every play. The other version, the one Clark is forced to survive every single night, is a physical gauntlet where the whistle disappears and the only objective is getting off the floor in one piece. As the referee suspension reports continue to develop and as more footage keeps surfacing, one thing is becoming impossible to deny. Fans are not looking away anymore. They are pulling up the tape themselves, timestamping every no call, and asking the league directly to explain what they are seeing. So here's the real question. Is this league quietly holding its officials accountable behind the scenes? Or is this double standard about to define the entire rest of the season? Drop your honest take in the comments, because this conversation is not slowing down anytime soon. Like this video, subscribe if you want every update on this story as it breaks, and share it with anyone who says this is just competitive basketball, because after watching this tape, that argument does not hold up anymore. Stay locked in, keep watching the tape, and I will see you in the next one.